Hi, I'm Farmer Samson Ogbole, and welcome to our Work and Learn series on our Telegram group. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. I understand that for some of us, we already are in our businesses, we already have something we are doing, and for people like that, just see this as an opportunity to retrace your step, to do checks and balance on your business. And for those of us who are just starting, take this as a template to ensure that you are able to do things correctly, that you are able to do things the right way. So for our first class, we will be looking at business development. We will be looking at business development. Now, we are going to be having a whole lot of assignments, so that because the assignment is what we are going to use to gauge, to see how far we have gone, what needs to be done, what I need to correct, and all of that. Then probably on Fridays or Saturdays, we will try and leave the group open so that people can ask their questions, post their questions, and all of that. Then over time, we are going to have assignments that we would need you to carry out. Some of these assignments might be things that you just carry out without any submission needed, meaning you just carry out the task and you try to implement and see the result in your business. While for some of the assignments, it would actually require you to to submit at the end of the day. Then for some assignments, as we have more people, it will require group work so that you are able to take the privilege of learning from others who are not where you are, so that your knowledge base, your market research, and all of that is not just based around where you are, but you are able to work with other people. So what would happen is you will take a pause at this point, and please try to introduce yourself, what you do, and your location. Yourself, what you do, and your location. Now, it's important that we are able to describe properly what we do, because you see, if you are not able to sell yourself correctly, you might miss out on opportunities. Now, in selling yourself correctly, I am not saying write 1,000 words. I mean, this is, for example, on Telegram group. If what you are saying is too long, there is a probability that the reader will just scroll up and move up to the, or scroll down, move up to the next writer, or to the next person introducing themselves. So you need to start learning, how do I introduce myself in a way that it is concise, but yet I am able to grab attention, I'm able to command attention, I'm able to ensure the person is actually listening to understand, not just listening to respond, but they are actually listening in a way that they understand what I am saying, they understand what I am trying to communicate, they are actually participating by giving thought to what I have said. So you introduce yourself and tell us what you do on the group, and of course the location you are in. I'll give an example. You could simply say something like, I am Farmer Samson Ogbole, and I produce vegetables that feed 5,000 people weekly. My location is Ogun State. So you notice I called my name. If I wanted, I could say, I am Farmer Samson, team lead of Soilless Farm Lab, and I produce vegetables that feed 5,000 people weekly. So what would jump out at you is not the name first, is not the company, but the fact that I am feeding 5,000 people weekly. So in your case, it could be you are John Jide, or you are BC Kotokpo, and what you do is you are you are a lawn what's the name now? You are a gardener. You are a gardener, and you maintain 1,000 gardens, or 1,000 gardens for 1,000 people weekly or monthly, or you are in charge of all the gardens in a certain region, or you are a fish smoker and you are responsible for processing the fish that are eaten in all 5-star hotels in Ikeja local government area. So something that jumps out, something that people would remember after you have introduced yourself and you have left the stage. So I said today's topic we will be looking at business development. So I would define business development as, they say, business development can be summarized as the ideas, one, initiative, activities that makes a business better. So ideas, initiatives, and activities that makes a business better. But before we can develop your business, the question is, what business are you doing? Now this is for you to answer. What business are you doing? What business are you doing? Because this is very important. What business are you doing? So a business is defined as an organization or enterprise entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. So, and it's also defined as organized efforts or activities of individuals. So there is an organization in the effort. So the first question is, what business are you doing? What do you do? What is your business? What do you do? This is the first question I need us to answer. So probably have a sheet of paper somewhere and write, what do I really do? What problem am I solving? What solution am I preferring? Now, when we say business, a business is something that brings money. A business is something that brings money or that you derive an end meet from. So it's not just about, oh, I am plaiting hair for people. What is the end result of the hair plaiting that you are doing? So I want all of us to take time and write out, in the business that you are doing, one, what brings money in this thing? Is it the sales of tomatoes that is bringing money, the sales of pepper, the sales of onions, the helping them to set up their farm, the helping them to clean their houses? What exactly brings money? List as many as they are. This is what brings money. This is what brings money. So as many as you can list in that business. Now, when you are done listing, you go to the next part 2. What activities do I do before this thing brings money? I take that again. What activities do I engage in before this thing brings money? So what I am asking of is your business process. What is the process you follow to get money from that business? Because if we are going to look at how to improve your ideas, your initiative, or your activities to make your business better, we need to know what is currently existing for existing business. And for those of us that do not have a business we are doing yet, what process do you want to follow? So what I mean is, on a sheet of paper, write number 1. So let's say, for example, as a farmer, number 1 is I buy my seeds. Number 2, I plant the nursery. So I get my compost, my whatever I want to use, medium I want to use, I plant the nursery. While that is going on, step 3, I start to set up the farm, the place the plants will go to. Step 4, I move the crops after so days to so place and transplant. Step 5, what are the activities I do regularly? What are the monotonous activity I have to carry out judiciously to ensure these plants grow? Then number 6, what are the things I do at harvest? What kind of customers do I sell to? Now, let me explain this. If in the process of writing this down, you notice that at any point there is an area that is not clear what you really do, it means that your business process is not, it's not, what's the word now? You do not have a business process yet. And if you do not have a business process, then you do not have a business. What you are just doing is hustling. Because see, this is the idea. In the next 5 months, I want to see if together we can get your business to a point where you as the CEO, you as the founder, you as the leader, you can step back and have somebody else carry out your activities without you and see if you can still achieve the same results. As a farmer, if you can stay away from your farm for 2-3 weeks, a month, at the end of the 5-month period, and see if your staff on the farm would be able to generate the same result that you are generating. As a processor, if you can be away from your processing environment and your guys on the processing machine can still achieve the same results. That is the point I'm trying to bring out. So I say that again, try and write out the processes. Everything that you need to do, everything that gets done rather, everything that gets done, every process that you need to go through from step 1 till it gets to the customer. Let's write it down so that in future classes, because the only way we can help improve your ideas, the only way we can help improve the initiatives, our activities, is to first know what is the idea, what is the initiative, and what activities are we currently doing. But remember, I said the first step is write down what brings you money. Now, when I say write down what brings you money, the bringing in of money should be based on the timetables you understand. So what I mean by that is this. For example, as a farmer, we also help in farm setup. But there was a time when I cannot determine when the next farm setup will come. So although that farm setup brings money, I cannot build a business around it because it is not a stream of income that I control. And a stream of income that I cannot control is not a business. That is just hustling. Which means if the opportunity comes, I latch onto it. If it does not come, I live my life. But in a properly run business, I should be able to control the streams of income that I have access to. So, step 1 is list your streams of income. The streams of income. What are the streams of income? For those of us that do not have a business yet, that you are just thinking of starting, now in that business that you are thinking of starting, how do you intend to make money? Write it down. How do you intend to make money? How do you intend to make money from that thing? Where do you expect the money to come from? Write it down. You should know. You should know. This is where I want to make money from. Then number 2, what are the activities that needs to be done, or what activities are being carried out? What are the processes being followed for this money to be made, or for this product or this service that I am using in exchange for the money to be made? So that is our week 1 assignment, because what we want to do is try and understand the processes that we are currently going through, that we currently have, so that we can now gradually start looking at the business, look at our business strategy. We will get there. We will look at sales and marketing. Under sales and marketing, we will look at things like your information risk. We will look at things like your strategic risk. We will look at things like your tactical risk, and of course your ethical risk, because these are things that plays a potential role in the success of our business. Then we have talked about looking at your source of income first as a business. Then, so look at your source of income, write it down. I'm trying to ensure that this is not so long, because I understand not everybody would have time to listen to very long videos. But take your time, write it down. Do you have private sources, people that pay you privately? You see government sources where you get things like fees, your grants and whatever. Do you have social security sources where there are some funds you are qualified for because of your social status? Do you have, what's the word now, diversified funds that are helping your own funds? So We want to know. We want to know. Or is it even things from your local sales? Is it from your local sales that you are making money from? We want to know. We want to know. But write it down. We want to understand, what process are you following? What process are you following? I hope this makes sense. So please take your time, write it down, so you can get a notebook or something dedicated to this mini series. Because what we want to do in the next 5 months is, first, try to analyze the business that you are doing. Then we are going to take time to see what is working and what is not working. Now, because I am not in the physical location of our different businesses, it means that how helpful this process will be for the next 5 months is totally dependent on how committed you are in following through with the assignment, following through with the classwork, and most importantly, how honest you are with the data that you input. So in some of our cases, you may realize that when you are trying to call some processes, it looks like there are 2 or 3 ways it can be done. Like, oh, there is option 1, 2, or 3, it can be done. No, that means there is no clarity in that process. And if there is no clarity in that process, that is danger looming. So there must be clarity. There must be clarity. So I want you to write down the business process. Because you see, in big organizations, I always give these examples during Work and Learn, that when you see a baby and you see an adult, there is no system or organ in the baby that is not in the adult. The baby has a heart, the adult has a heart. The baby has lungs, the adult has lungs. The baby has brains, the adult has brain. So the only difference between the systems in the child, the circulatory, reproductive, respiratory, whatever system you are calling in the child, the only difference between the systems in the child and the systems in an adult is they are exactly the same. But the difference between a child and an adult is just time. So with time, that child will become an adult. So what I want us to try to build in the next 5 months for our businesses is to create the same systems in an adult inside a child, to create the same systems in the big business inside our small businesses. And of course, teach us how to handle these little systems, or these systems in the small business, such that by the time we begin to grow, we are able to put people in these systems, because the people who you now employ realize there are systems already existing that we can key into and amplify, so that the result remains the same. Whether the people come and go, the system still guarantees the result. That's the point. Because if we are not able to build proper systems in place, it means that as people come and go, the result will be changing. But if there are proper systems in place, people can come and go, the result will still remain the same, because systems guarantees results. However, before you can build systems, the first thing you need to build is understanding the process. So when we understand process, systems are built around process. Systems are built around process. So there is process, there is systems, then there are results. But before the process, we need to know, how do you want to make money? How do you want to make gain? How do you want to be profitable? So how you intend to be profitable will be the bedrock of the process. So if I know how I want to get, I know where I want to get to, then I can build a process to get there and systems to control those processes, then the results can be guaranteed. So let's go through this week's assignment. Until next week, have an awesome week. Again, I'm Farmer Samson Ogbole, and please, you can invite others to join us on the group. Thank you.